The MP has floated a tender worth 2.8 crore rupees for the implementation of this project, and the plan involves distributing cooked meals including chicken and egg rice to street dogs in all 8 municipal zones of Bengaluru. According to the tender, 600 to 700 stray dogs will be fed per zone every day, and the move has sparked mixed reactions across the city. My colleague Mohammed Wajiullah continues to be with us. Waji, whilst animal rights activists and welfare groups have welcomed the initiative as a compassionate step, critics are also far and plenty. They argue that taxpayer money is now going to be used for this when it should be prioritized for human welfare, especially when many residents are still struggling for basic needs. So where does the community stand over here? Mixed reactions coming out.
Absolutely, there are mixed reactions with regards to why this has been implemented. Like you clearly mentioned, there are people who have welcomed this, and there are those people who love animals, animal lovers, dog right activists. But there are others who have also raised their opinion that this is taxpayers' money. This should not go in feeding these dogs. But if we go into the logic behind why the BBMP has done this, they have their own reasoning for it. Because in the last few days, and we have also reported this, that we've seen clashes in apartments with regards to a few people feeding stray dogs, and the apartment people having an objection to it, creating chaos in these apartment places that you are feeding the animals, stray animals, and allowing them inside the apartment or anywhere near the apartment. That was one of the reasons. Then there was this reason that the stray dogs were getting aggressive because they are not getting anything to eat. After COVID, especially, we had seen that people themselves didn't have the money to feed themselves, and they were not able to feed these animals. And a lot of animals were going hungry and were dying. To make sure that all these reasons are also taken into consideration, because you hardly have people on the street feeding dogs nowadays in the last few days. And that is where the BBMP took this initiative to make sure that dogs on the road are fed so that they do not get aggressive because of hunger and then attack the general public. And that is why, to take care of all these things, and keeping in mind that there is an opposition to this also, the BBMP has proposed this tender for street dogs. It will now remain to be seen how many of them will take it. But this is somewhere or the other a welcome move, because from individuals who used to get caught in fights with other individuals or apartment owners with regards to feeding dogs, that might come to an end, because now the government itself will be taking this initiative, and they've decided to feed close to 800 to 900 dogs in every zone, to make sure that behavior or anything with regards to dogs being hungry and biting kids.
Vaji,
All these
I'm
kinds of
sorry to
incidents are
interject. I'll
stopped.
tell you why. Because you see, we've constantly been seeing those CCTV footages. Sometimes it's a young child who's being mauled by a bunch of street dogs. At some places, it's residential societies inside elevators where people who don't necessarily love pets, aren't pet lovers, having to go through that ordeal of sharing the lift with somebody who has a dog, and then things go awry. It does look funny, but there is a serious question that one needs to ask over here. And now there's politics that's taking shape around here as well, because taxpayers' money gets involved. Opposition leaders have questioned the timing and the priorities of the state government, citing it and calling it a project of misguided use of public funds. Where do you think this is going to land the Karnataka Congress government? Because already there is the leadership fissures that people are talking about. So many of those schemes that were promises of the Karnataka Congress government are becoming a burden on the exchequer. The Nama Metro was a big flashpoint. We've been decoding all of those right here on News 9. And now this stray dog control. Where is this taking the Karnataka Congress government and its own credibility?
Well, absolutely right, Kabir, because just 2 days back, you had the Lorry Association people going on a protest, which internally affected the entire Annabhagya scheme. And the reason they went out for a protest because they were not paid for the last 6 months. So, and because of which they were not ready to distribute those Annabhagya rice to the general public. And for a few days, the public did not have rice to give them, just because they could not pay these drivers. At a time like this, when the government is already going through a crunch, there are people who have raised this question, that why do we divulge money from the public fund, which could be used for payments of salaries, which could be used for other things, in putting it to or feeding dogs in general. But this has been something that has been close to the government also. making sure that the animals on the road is also fed. There is an overall development that takes place. Everyone on the street, because you already have Anna Bhagya scheme, you already have Indra canteens on the road where they give you food for 5 to 10 rupees, where a person can have lunch for just 5 to 10 rupees. If they don't have money, poor people otherwise are fed through NGOs and organizations. And it is these animals who only scramble around in garbage. So that is what they wanted to cater to. Yes, there is opposition, there is political reactions to it, but I think the government will continue to go ahead with this proposal because they believe that this is more of a moral responsibility of the government to make sure that the animals in their regimes are also fed, while the people, on the other hand, have been given the opportunity, have been given centers where they can go have food if they do not have any option to have food. They've also provided cheap food for the people. So, on the other hand, they've taken this as a moral responsibility to make sure that the stray animal is also fed.
Well, Karthi Chidambaram has come out with their own tweet. Take a look at this, Vajji. Karthi Chidambaram says, is this true? Dogs have no place in the streets. They need to be relocated to shelters where they can be fed, vaccinated and sterilized. So, of course, Fishers now within the Karnataka Congress. Do you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. People are going to have mixed reactions when you're talking about 2.8 crore rupees of taxpayers' money. Feeding and keeping them in a free roaming state in the streets is a huge health and safety hazard. I don't think we've seen enough of this at this point in time. I think there's more that's going to come this way, isn't it, Vajji?
Well, even R. Ashok, just a few minutes back during a press conference, when somebody asked him about this, he also said that I don't understand why the government is doing this. So you have political reactions on one side. You have a lot of animal rights activists who have hailed this as a great move, and they've said that it is something good because they feel that they know the reality on the ground. So you will always have opposition to something that will come up. It remains to be seen how the government stands. For all you know, Kabir, very soon you will have cat owners or people who love cats saying that you have a lot of stray cats on the ground. They also need to be fed. So there will always be opposition. It now remains to be seen how the government will confront this.
All right. Many thanks, Vajji. We're going to keep coming back to you as and when you have more on this for us. The BBMP, meanwhile, maintains that this is part of a broader effort to control stray dog aggression by ensuring regular feeding, especially in urban areas with rising complaints about dog attacks. But whether this is the right step or not, well, we'll have to wait and find out. All right, then, to the big development that came out of the Supreme Court today, because the Supreme Court refused to put a stay on the special intensive revision for electoral rolls in poll-bound Bihar. Bench of the Apex Court observed that the Election Commission of India has sufficient time to file its affidavit and complete the ongoing revision process. And hearing that clutch of petitions challenging the Election Commission's decision, the top court said that the poll watchdog had a mandate under the Constitution to conduct the exercise. Now take a look at this. The bench that was hearing the case identified 3 core issues raised in the petition. Whether the Election Commission has the power to conduct a special intensive revision. Number 2, concerns regarding the procedure adopted by the Election Commission of India. And number 3, the timing of the exercise, scheduled just ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections in November 2025. And the top court has posted the matter for a detailed hearing on the 28th of this month, right before the 1st of August deadline for this intensive revision to be completed. The Election Commission has been directed to file its counter affidavit within a week's time. The petitioner may submit a rejoinder if desired before the 28th of July. We can, of course, assume at this point in time that the rejoinder is going to be coming. But the bench also noted that the list of 11 accepted documents submitted by the ECI for understanding the nativity, the citizenship, or of course the domicile of the particular person who's filling the form, that is not final. Documents such as Aadhaar card, the voter ID, that's the EPIC, and the ration card, prima facie, in the name of justice, is what the bench said, should also be considered valid for verification. Importantly, the petitioners did not seek an interim stay at this particular stage, which means the special intensive revision is going to continue to go on. And since the draft voter list is set to be published on the 1st of August, after the next scheduled hearing on the 28th of July. Now, some important arguments that were raised by the petitioners, they include that that Aadhaar should be accepted as valid proof, pointing out that 87% of the population is already covered under the UID system. They also said that Election Commission's own voter ID card should be accepted along with the ration card, as all 3 are reliable documents to identity verification. The petitioners expressed concerns over the timing of the exercise, arguing that such a massive process should not be linked to an impending election, something that the court also pointed out as terms of the challenges to the special intensive revision by these clutch of petitions. They also took a dig at the Election Commission, saying the ECI keeps citing the number of forms received as if that alone validates the exercise, but these forms don't have supporting documents, and that part of the process has not even started yet. They stressed that it would be perfectly fine if the revision continued till next year and was used in the next election instead of being rushed for the upcoming assembly polls.
आज जो सुनवाई हुई माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के समक्ष याचिकाकर्ता चाहते थे कि बिहार के अंदर जो इलेक्टोरल रोल डिवीजन का काम इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया कर रही है उसको रोक दिया जाए, लेकिन जब उन्होंने अदालत का मूड भांप लिया कि किसी भी एसटी के लिए अदालत तैयार नहीं है, तब उन्होंने अपने एप्लीकेशन को प्रेस करने से मना कर दिया और वो प्रेस नहीं किए हैं। इसीलिए अगली 28 जुलाई को पूरे मामले की पुनः सुनवाई होगी। तब तक इलेक्शन कमीशन अपने इलेक्टोरल रोल रिवीजन के कार्य को करता रहेगा और उसकी पूर्ण सारी सूचना अगले तारीख पर माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के समक्ष काउंटर एफिडेविट के माध्यम से देगा।
And take a look at this. BJP Member of Parliament Nishikant Dubey has launched a scathing attack on Uddhav and Raj Thackeray amid the ongoing Marathi-Hindi language row in Maharashtra, and reacting sharply to reports of traders being assaulted for not speaking Marathi. Nishikant Dubey accused the Thackerays of targeting poor Hindi-speaking migrants whilst conveniently ignoring powerful figures who don't speak Marathi. He questioned why industrialists like Mukesh Ambani or senior officials like the SBI chairman who rarely speak Marathi are never targeted. The BJP MP went on to challenge the MNS's approach, asking why only Hindi speakers are being attacked and not confront other languages like Urdu, Tamil or Telugu speakers too. He also warned, adding that those trying to divide on linguistic lines will face resistance.
महाराष्ट्र का इस देश के इकोनॉमी में बड़ा योगदान है, उससे कोई डिनाई नहीं करता। हमारी बातों को जो है गलत ढंग से लोगों ने समझा, लेकिन हम ये कह रहे हैं कि मुंबई जो है या महाराष्ट्र जो टैक्स पे करता है, उस टैक्स पेयर के मनी में हमारा भी योगदान है। इसका ठाकरे परिवार से लेना देना नहीं है, इसका मराठा से लेना देना नहीं है। इसका यह है जैसे कौन टैक्स पे करता है, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया टैक्स पे करती है क्योंकि उसका हेडक्वार्टर वहां है। तो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में जहां मैं सिक्किम में खड़ा हूं, तो सिक्किम के लोग भी तो स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया में पैसा देते हैं, इनका पैसा भी तो वहां जमा है ना। लेकिन उसका टैक्स का पैसा यदि मिलता है तो महाराष्ट्र के खाते में जाता है। LIC है, इतनी बड़ी इंश्योरेंस एजेंसी है, उसका हेडक्वार्टर कहां है। दूसरी बात यह है कि आप जो है गरीबों को मारपीट करते हो। वहां जो है मुकेश अंबानी साहब रहते हैं, मराठी तो बहुत कम बोलते हैं, हिम्मत है तो जरा उनके पास चले जाओ। माहिम में जो है सारे मुसलमान हैं, हिम्मत है तो तुम वहां चले जाओ। स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का चेयरमैन मराठी नहीं बोलता है, वो तो आंध्र का है, तेलुगु बोलता है बेचारा, आप उसको जरा मारपीट करके देखो।
Well, the row erupted after MNS workers allegedly assaulted traders in Mumbai for not using Marathi, a move that has sparked political outrage and prompted police to increase vigilance and prevent further unrest. There were political rallies that were carried out as well, and it seems like that this has taken a little bit of a political shape in the state of Maharashtra, with Devendra Fadnavis earlier giving a different route for that rally to be carried out for the MNS, and that turning into a pure cacophony as well. Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray's faction leaders also tried to, sort of usurp the protest, but that also could not happen. This is turning into a big political fiasco in the state of Maharashtra. Moving on, Karnataka's Chief Minister speaking on the speculation of whether there will be a change in guard in Karnataka or not, whether DKS is going to be coming at the helm of affairs for the next and the remainder of this term. He asserted that there will be no change in leadership and he's here to stay for the complete 5 years. That's what Siddaramaiah said. He also said that no discussion has taken place within the Congress on this issue of leadership change. Will, of course, adding that whatever decision will be taken by the High Command, he along with D. Kishore Kumar will follow it wholeheartedly.
No discussion taken place. Kumar himself said it, that there is no vacancy. Whatever decision taken by the High Command, both of us will follow. No discussion taken place. Kumar himself said it, that there is no vacancy. Whatever decision taken by the High Command, both of us will follow.
Well, Congress versus Congress has flared up again. A fiery op-ed by senior leader Shashi Tharoor criticizing the emergency has now sparked political tremors within the grand old party. In a sharply worded response, Congress MP Manickam Tagore launched a veiled attack on Shashi Tharoor, accusing him of echoing the BJP's narrative and taking a sarcastic swipe, saying, "Mimicry is cute in birds, not in politics. When a colleague starts repeating BJP lines word for word, you begin to wonder, is the bird becoming a parrot?" And this war of words comes after Tharoor, who in an op-ed called the 1975 emergency a dark period of Indian democracy, detailing human rights abuses, censorship and judicial complicity. Tharoor called out Indira Gandhi's authoritarianism, but was careful to say India of today is not the India of 1975. And this didn't land well, it seems, with some of his own party members. Tagore's comment, viewed as a public rebuke, hints at growing unease in the Congress ranks about Tharoor's repeated praise for some government policies and what some see as softening criticism of the BJP.
थरूर ने इमरजेंसी को लेकर के एक आर्टिकल लिखा है, उसमें उन्होंने इतना उस समय की सरकार को दोषी ठहराया, क्या कहना है सर?
मैंने उनका आर्टिकल पढ़ा नहीं।
डॉक्टर शशि थरूर ने इमरजेंसी को लेकर के एक आर्टिकल लिखा है, उसमें उन्होंने इतना उस समय की सरकार को दोषी ठहराया, क्या कहना है सर?
मैंने उनका आर्टिकल पढ़ा नहीं।
Moving on, Kerala police have detained members of Democratic Youth Federation of India, the DYFI, and All India Students' Federation, the AISF, who were protesting right outside Kerala University against Kerala's governor, Rajendra Arlekar, alleging that he is attempting to saffronize state-funded universities. Earlier, the Kerala police used water cannon to disperse members of the Democratic Youth Federation of India and the All India Students' Federation climbing the gates of the Kerala University. The SFI had also called for a statewide protest against the governor for allegedly trying to saffronize the state-run universities.